Welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Rabbit Hole Podcast. I am your host, CSD Fantasy. Hello, Fantasy Faithfuls, and welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Rabbit Hole Podcast. I'm your host, CSD Fantasy, and I am flanked by the one and only Nick Faber and the Coin Master, Matt Williams. How are y'all doing?
I'm doing great, man. Excited. We missed last week. That's tough. Sorry for all the listeners and followers out there who didn't get their weekly fill of the rabbit hole, but we're back, and I'm freaking geeked. I got some Hop Slam here for the season that is Hop Slam season. Got to stay festive, you know what I mean? The holiday season's gone, so I got to stay festive with the beer season now, and it's Hop Slam season, so I'm excited, man.
I have my boring cup filled with water.
Same here, but at least I got a better team showing on my cups than you got on your cap with the Atlanta Braves.
Atlanta Braves.
Go home.
I'm like, no comment. I didn't like you were in the chat. They were saying that my nickname might be the Coin, and I'm like not too happy. But Coin Master, I can get behind. I kind of dig that. So.
I feel like you gotta give it a little bit of authority to it too. If it's just the Coin, then it's like why? But Coin Master,
yeah,
is almost like Taskmaster or something like that.
Zoltan.
And for everybody who wasn't here when we did the last episode 2 weeks ago, Matt was flipping a coin to see how that would fare against us in fantasy. He got the coin on screen right there.
It did not fare well.
Did it not? It didn't fare well. The only thing I remember it liked Dawson Knox. That's the only one I remember.
And Dawson Knox did not do us any favors. I also like coin with that, and we lost that one.
Yeah, it was Dawson Knox PPR 5.2 fantasy points. Y'all went over, and he scored 2.4. I think he had one reception for 14 yards. Yeah, that makes sense.
We were half right.
But to be all honest, it was Carl. It was you who got me all convinced about Dawson Knox, telling me how the Texans defense couldn't stop a tight end with 15 players out there, and then you snaked me and went right under where I went over.
I still didn't believe Dawson Knox would do it, but
Dawson Knox is a beast.
He's a beast. Well, not. I'm sorry for just interrupting. Mello is joining the fan, and he's dying
Mello?
with the Coin Master comment. That's definitely going to stick.
Master.
Especially when Mello gets a hold of something in the chat, he tends to roll with it. It's the same when Nicholas Carone, when his brother joins in, they just
hashtag Coin Master.
Hashtag Coin Master. I'm gonna keep doing that when I tweet it out.
I like that.
But I was gonna say we got into the Coin Master picks from 2 weeks ago when we were heading into the not divisional round. Help me out. The wildcard weekend. We did prize picks for that, so we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 picks that we all picked over and under for. And yours truly, CSD, went 7 of 11 with the win, of course. And Nick got 6. Convenient.
Yeah, right? Thank you. All right.
Convenient, he was just 1 above Nick. He just, would have been 2, but I changed my pick, as did Matt. With when Will Fuller went down, we changed to under on Deshaun Watson, and we got real banged on that one. But Nick scored 6, and Matt's Coin scored 5.
Deshaun Watson was probably under that going into overtime. It wasn't until his overtime heroics did he win. No, maybe not, but
it probably was pretty close.
Deshaun Watson wasn't having the greatest day against Buffalo. I don't know. It was a couple weeks ago. I can barely remember what I had.
He scored 27.9 eventually. The over-under was 20.5, so it was pretty close.
That's why I like this prize picks thing, man. This is fun. It's a great way to go out there and do some kind of betting. If you're not confident in just betting via Bovada or anything, you just kind of feel confident doing your FanDuel, your DraftKings. Prize Picks is very similar to that, but you're not battling 800 different, or 8,000 different people, 80,000 different people. It's awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's easy to get into because you don't have to have too much information on a player. This is the player, this is the game, over under. What do you think? That's the question. You don't have to pick a whole team. It's just 3 to 4 players, and you're rolling. I've had a lot of fun with it over the last couple of weeks. So I hope other people are as well. And I've, like I said before, I've been to a couple of their events, and I know guys who only play Prize Picks instead of like FanDuel and stuff because they don't enjoy picking a full 11 because they don't have that knowledge to pick like your third wide receiver, but they know the top names and they can have fun with that as well.
Agreed, 100%.
And we're going to have fun today because we have an awesome episode for you lined up. But as always, feel free to interrupt at any point in the show in the live chat. We are here to serve.
Please, yes, ask away.
And before we get into today's show, I would like to remind you to hit that like button. Please share on social media to help us get the word out there. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Check out the Patreon page down below for exclusive content and personal fantasy projections. And tomorrow it will be more score projections up on csdfantasy.com. I forgot to tell people, though, how they can see more of y'all's content. Matt, where can people find you?
I'm literally everywhere. You can find me on Twitter at MATTWI77IMS. I'm on the DF Statistics podcast, the Turn 2 podcast. If you're a baseball fan, we're steering into baseball. And over at FF Mercs with my boy Nick here. If you need any help with the football or baseball drafts, in-draft consultations, dynasty, anything you want, we're over at ffmercs.com.
Bam. Nick?
I do not have as much to plug, but find me on Twitter at Nick Faber, NFL. As Matt said, I do a show with him as well. Always here on the Rabbit Hole on Wednesdays. So if you're just now tuning in for the first time, make sure you're checking us out every Wednesday. Even throughout the off season, we will still be here. But yeah, man, hit me up on Twitter. I'd love to talk. Putting out some movie rankings right now and random ass rankings lately. Came up with an idea I just tweeted out. Drunk History meets football, starring Kyle Brandt, NFL Network on Thursdays. Tell me that's not the greatest show we can think of right now.
That's actually pretty awesome.
Kyle Brandt hosts these NFL legends getting drunk as a skunk telling stories.
About
That would be good.
catch.
It'd be better than the what is it, the Inside the NFL or whatever that show is.
Exactly. But if you get Drunk History meets Inside the NFL.
It would be good. I haven't followed. I can't remember a lot of your lists from the movies, but I know one thing stuck out. You appear to love the movie What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
What's Eating Gilbert Grape is a phenomenal.
You ranked it twice. Like in the
one
top
for
two
Leo and
Leo
one for Johnny Depp. That was one of Depp's best roles, and that was obviously one of Leo's best roles, being, you know, the role he had to play. Leo just killed it. It was unbelievable. But then Depp is
I had very little confidence that you were going to escape describing that in a way that would have allowed this podcast to go on. So good job.
It's a great movie. If you haven't seen What's Eating Gilbert Grape, it's a little bit older. Go watch it. I know a lot of kids probably born after 1998 watch this show now, so they don't even know what this movie is. But
I've never heard of it, and I'm born 1991.
Carl, you
Johnny Depp basically is eating grapes.
I mean, so that's like before Pirates of the Caribbean? No.
Oh, way before. This
It is way before. It's like a 94 movie. Go watch it, Carl. To-do
is
list.
that DiCaprio's like first movie?
Well, not like
First like big movie.
I love
like,
some Leo.
Leo plays as a kid. I think Basketball Diaries was his first like big movie, to be all
Is
honest.
that before that?
I thought it was, wasn't it? Wasn't that 92? I don't know. I guess I could.
I don't know. Now I'm looking it up. IMDb Live.
Yeah, go ahead. And then while you do that, we have a question. I know this is really off topic, but I just have to chime in.
You're from Who's Eating Gilbert Grape? You're saying it's off topic?
It's off topic of movies and of football. Okay. So like it's off topic. And Mello wants your opinion on the Astros situation, Matt.
I mean, as in regards to fantasy baseball or just normal baseball?
I think just your opinion, like punishment fits the crime. Yes or no?
Yeah, definitely. The funniest thing so far has been the apologies. AJ Hinch, if you read the report, obviously didn't do a whole ton wrong. It seems like he actually smashed some video cameras with a bat in disappointment of Alex Cora, but he took it like a man. He apologized. He took responsibility, but not the GM or former GM, Jeff Luhnow, who decided to throw low-level employees and the bench coach under the bus and say that he had nothing to do with it. And my God, he's just a terrible person.
He's never gonna get a job again in baseball, in sports. Like he's done.
No, he's done. Hinch will be back next year, I believe.
The Tigers need to sign him, man. The Tigers absolutely need to sign him today.
People will be all over Hinch next year, all over him. Alex Cora will probably never manage again. He's probably looking at a 2-year suspension minimum if those guys got one, if not longer, he probably will never be back. And Carlos Beltran, if I had to guess, his next public appearance is scheduled for January 24th at the Mets Holiday Fest. I bet he's fired before that day.
Do you
know who's... Wait, Nick, let me ask you. Do you know who will actually get a job next year and will get a very high-paying job playing football, because this person has done such a good job playing quarterback for a specific team that's gone to the conference championship final? Ryan Tannehill. I'm moving it back to football. We dug way too deep. They dug too deep. All the way
the rabbit hole went too far, I heard.
All the way down to Khazar-Dûn, and it just, the Balrog was getting closer. So I'd fly you fools, and we flew back to Tennessee. Ryan Tannehill, I just have to get your opinion. We missed last week's show. First he takes out Brady, and then he takes out Lamar Jackson. What is happening?
I'm gonna steer us directly off the path and back into the past for 1 second, because I feel like I just spent a good solid 20 seconds of my time trying to find this Leonardo DiCaprio information, and it was wasted. The Basketball Diaries, 1995. What's Eating Gilbert Grape, 1993. Yeah. But that is not his first movie. That would be 1991 when he was in Critters 3.
There we are. That's when the world was...
The more you know.
Introduced to Leo.
A simpler world.
I'll let our responsible host actually take it back onto football now.
Yes. Carl,
is Ryan Tannehill the Leonardo DiCaprio of football? No, but Ryan Tannehill...
Well, he started out in Critters 3, kind of, and now he's in his wheelhouse, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of...
Like he's going to start getting his Oscar nominations now, Tannehill is.
If he wins the Super Bowl, he is the Leo of the NFL.
That's a crazier story than... Like that's the craziest story the NFL has had, even over Nick Foles since Kurt Warner. Like there's no crazier story than Ryan Tannehill winning a goddamn Super Bowl. That's fucking nuts. Like I can't comprehend. But you know what's weird to me is that Tannehill has the same odds to win the Super Bowl as Aaron Rodgers. If you go put $100 down on both the Titans and the Packers, you win $650 for both of them. It doesn't seem right. It seems like the Packers should be have a little bit better odds to win the Super Bowl than Ryan Tannehill. Because as much as I love Tannehill, going through the Chiefs is a lot harder than going through the Niners. And going to the Super Bowl and winning it the first time is harder than doing it the second time. I just feel like it's a lot harder on Tannehill. There's a lot of hills to climb there.
A lot of Tannehills to climb. Are we going to talk about how terrible he's actually been?
We don't need to. He's winning the game.
How did they win 2 games with A.J. Brown literally not existing? It's just mind-boggling.
That is, and Melo chimes in here and says Danny Carey carried them, and I kind of agree, but then that didn't work with Mariota. So something is different. I feel like
imagine Tannehill steps up versus Kansas City. Maybe they'll have a shot doing it a different way. Although obviously the recipe to beat them is running the ball, and they have literally the best option on the planet right now.
They don't need to change it up. If it's not broke, don't fix it. My dad always told me that, and that's something the Titans need to stay true to. They need to just keep running with Derrick Henry. But it's fun seeing Vrabel coach because I feel like with every passing second that he's leading and getting to the Super Bowl, there's one extra sweat bead just dropping. Like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have told everyone that I would cut in for a Super Bowl.
What was that quote your dad said?
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Did he make that up? That was him?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah, but it was back in the 70s, I feel like. It's a family quote.
To be honest, my dad could have made that up. Who knows? Do you know who made that up? I don't.
My dad could beat your dad.
Oh my God!
My dad's quote is better than it's. He didn't make it up, but he stole it from somebody, and it's never tell anybody you know something.
You know something? No, I know nothing.
Yeah, because then they'll ask you like, "Oh, you know how to build a porch? Come and help me." So.
Oh, you guys watched that '70s show at all?
Yes.
I love that episode where he was trying to teach him. Eric was taught to. I don't know who taught him. I think Hyde told him. He said to never pretend to know you know how to do something. You do it real bad, and then when they come, your girlfriend or your wife asks you, you're like, I don't know. I guess I'm just bad at it, and then they won't ask you to do it anymore. That's perfect.
It's before the wedding, so he's like picking out China. I'm really bad at it.
Yeah, he's like, I guess I'm just bad at it.
But we're really not bad. We're really bad at sticking football. No, I'm kidding. That show is fantastic.
Is this a football show? Or I think
No,
it's just a show for three people to converse with each
Yeah,
other.
I think so too. And especially if it leads to like that 70 show, because you realize like if that show was happening now, it would be like in the 90s.
That 90s show? Oh my
Yeah.
god. Oh my god, that
It'd be like-
sucks. I don't even want to think about that.
No, they've tried to do it though with that school show and have a lot of 90s references. It's not really working too well.
For sure.
I'm
They
gonna,
did,
I'm gonna bury the show in a deeper hole right now.
Go ahead.
With did you see the remake in Saved by the Bell on the new NBC
Yeah.
streaming network?
What?
Zach Morris is the governor of California in that show.
oh my god, I didn't know they were doing that much.
True story.
But is everyone back? I heard that wasn't someone not coming back? What's her name?
Yeah, like Jesse Spano's back, AC Slater's back. They're trying to get Tiffany Amber Thiessen to come back as Kelly. That's not definite, but mostly everyone. Dustin Diamond's not back because he's like crazy, but everyone else.
Saved by the Bell reboot would be is a good idea.
Is it though?
But
Is it though?
I
Was
don't
Full
know.
House
I don't
a
know
good-
if it is, but I'm gonna watch it.
I haven't seen really too many of the show reboots. Like I don't watch Roseanne. I didn't watch Fuller House. I didn't watch like these.
Well, Roseanne kind of killed itself.
Well, yeah,
briefly.
the Connors or whatever the hell it is now. But even on
Bring
what that
back
first,
Family Matters, and I'll watch it.
they didn't they do the live show with Family Matters and All in Company or whatever? I don't remember. I don't know. I could be wrong on that.
I have no idea. I just want Carl Winslow back for a day.
I thought you were gonna just say you want me. When you just started with,
I
I
want
want
Carl
Carl.
back right now. Carl, lead us into a football conversation.
Tennessee or KC? Who do you got? Nick,
What's the line?
no
Yeah, we
line. Just be bold.
To win the game, give me Kansas City. I can't pick Tennessee to continue this run, and I would love to. And don't get me wrong, I'll be rooting for them. I will be rooting for that underdog. Absolutely.
That was gonna be my next question.
But
Like, so you're rooting for Tennessee, but you're picking KC. Matt,
Correct.
what do you have against that?
I can't see how anyone could have watched the second half of that game, or the second quarter for that matter, and go against the Chiefs winning this game. They look like the dangerous team we all thought they could be. So yeah, I'll pick the Chiefs, and I will be rooting for the Titans as well, as I have a vested interest in the NFC Championship game. If it somehow works out in the Packers' favor, I certainly don't want to see the Chiefs in that game. But as a fan, obviously, I think I want to see, Patrick Mahomes in a Super Bowl.
I want to see Andy Reid win that Super
Same
Bowl.
here. I'm gonna root for KC, and I think they take it this time.
And to be all honest, let me backtrack. I'm not going to root for Tennessee. I'm gonna root for a good game. Both these teams, like I don't have any grudge against either. Actually, I had the biggest grudge of all against Tennessee going into this year. Carl, I don't know if you remember, but I loathed them. I couldn't stand anything about Tennessee.
Hated them. Week 5, that was my least favorite team in the entire NFL. I spent like 20 minutes attacking Marcus Mariota and showing stats how Joe Flacco is a better fantasy quarterback for wide receivers.
Yeah.
And now they're fun.
Now they're fun. Now with Ryan Tannehill, it's like Marcus Mariota is like I can't think of the correct word, but he's the one that everyone like sends their hate towards. Where Ryan Tannehill just looks like an angel because everyone just like demonizes Marcus Mariota. So now Ryan Tannehill is this like angelic form, just like coasting this Tennessee team to an AFC championship. It's unbelievable, beating the two gods that were in their way. They got one god to go. Hopefully they can do it. But I'm just hoping for a good game. I don't want Kansas City to take a 28-7 lead in the second quarter and this game be 41-17 at the end. That's the last thing I want in this game.
Is Marcus Mariota going to have a comeback, or is he
Uncomebackable.
He is uncomebackable.
Yeah.
He is not coming back.
Will
I
he
don't-
get another shot at
what do you
another
guys
team?
think? What do you guys think
Yeah.
of the? Oh,
Oh, go ahead,
yeah,
Matt.
as a starter.
Yeah, as a starter, will he have another shot at like in Chicago or Miami?
I didn't see it. I can't see him being the best option among any free agent or just drafting. I don't see it.
Yeah, no, me neither.
His only chance will be a Nick Foles type opportunity. That's his chance. So he'll be a backup and then get a chance in week like 15.
Oh, I thought you meant like this year. Like you think someone's
no.
gonna? I'm like,
I guess-
really?
Or like Gardner Minshew. Like that'll be Marcus Mariota. Like the quarterback will get injured that he's on the team of, and he'll have to step up, and that'll be his last opportunity. If he doesn't
like
get that,
Bortles
step up.
in LA, sort of.
I bet Mariota's going to go back up Russell Wilson. That's what I think.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I was gonna say I was hoping Dak would get a backup like that.
How much money is Marcus Mariota going to
would-
get paid, though? You know, like he's not going to get paid anything if he's going to go back up Russ Wilson. That's crazy.
4 to 6.
James Winston's going to get at least money, like
46 a year, 7 top. What do you think?
Yeah.
4
I
to
think
6.
so.
I thought you said 46 a year at first.
Oh,
and I was
no.
like, that's not
Watch
46.
him. Watch him go to New England and start when Brady
Oh.
like goes to Carolina or Indy or something crazy
Shoot me.
and wins a Super Bowl.
Shoot
that
me
would be
now.
ridiculous, dude. I couldn't handle it.
We could all handle it. Let's see it.
How about that?
Hey, if you really like cameras off, you can push a red button. Mariota's in the Super Bowl with the Patriots next year. You don't push that button just to see how it unfolds.
Yeah, I do want to see Marcus. Like, I want to see the 2-week buildup of Marcus Mariota, all the hype that he gets, because then he'll go in the Super Bowl and he'll suck, and it'll
14
be
interceptions.
He's the new Tom Brady. Oh no, I couldn't. I can. You see, like whoever they draft this year is going. The storylines are just going to be so obnoxious about the Patriots that I can't even. This is the heir apparent. You've said this for 15 years. Like, yeah, steering away from the Patriots because you saw it just made me angry. It's
What does everyone think the chances? Because obviously the Titans match up well as far as the Chiefs' weakness goes, except the Titans give up lots of big plays, which is kind of the Chiefs' wheelhouse. Do you think the run game can slow down this clock and the pace of play enough to hang in this one, or do you think the Chiefs just do their thing like they're lightning bolts of 1-minute drives? Like, what do you guys think as far as like a final score here? Do you think the Titans keep this thing interesting?
high scoring for me, definitely. I don't think it's being low scoring with these defenses. Even if the running game for Tennessee is taking time off the clock, I feel like he's gonna do chunk plays. Henry as well, like 45 all of a sudden, and it's a short drive for them as well. And then you have Tannehill, who all of a sudden does these like 65-yard touchdowns. I can see both teams in the 30s easily.
I would think if I was Vrabel, I would try to slow down the pace a little more than he has been, only to keep Mahomes off the field. Like try long drives, then try to get Mahomes off the field, then suck down more clock. And that's what I would try to do. I wouldn't try to get into a shooting fest because I don't think they can compete.
I think Vrabel proved already that he can stop top-tier talent. Like, he can do it. We saw him just stifle Lamar Jackson. I think it's...
But Lamar is more alone on that offense than Patrick Mahomes is on that.
And if you rush Mahomes, he has a lot of places he can go with that ball.
And I'm not saying that like Lamar Jackson's better than Patrick Mahomes or anything, but he's an elite talent. He's an elite.
Definitely. But he doesn't have Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins.
He didn't have anyone around him since week 1. Just because it's now week 2 in the playoffs, you can't just give him an excuse because he finally lost. Give him an excuse because he doesn't have anyone around him. No one could do it. It wasn't that Lamar Jackson lost that game. Mike Vrabel went out there and defeated him in good manner. And it's not that he's now going to just go to Patrick Mahomes and get his ass whooped. I guarantee out of everyone outside of Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel will have his team ready to play the Chiefs better than Bill O'Brien had the fucking Texans.
Oh, yeah.
Better than anyone else is going to have them to play the Chiefs. He saw how you can beat them. We saw the Lions damn near win. We saw the Colts beat them. We saw the Packers beat them, I think. I'm just saying, like, this game I bet you this game ends up being a 7 to 8 point game, a 1-possession game. I think it's going to be very close for the first half, and I think we'll see a little bit more of Patrick Mahomes in the second half. But I do not see this like being an ass whooping. I do think Tennessee hangs with them, and honestly, they're better than we all still give them credit for, and I think they're going to prove that this week.
I think it's going to be close, but I'm still going KC, and I think it's going to be high scoring. And I do agree with the Vrabel comments as well, but I do
give me a 28-20 victory for the
I think both are true. I think Vrabel's going to try to do that, and it'll still be high scoring.
Exactly. And you look at what, and you kind of bashing Bill O'Brien there a little bit. He was double teaming Kelce, and what did the Chiefs do? Like, good luck with that. And
I think Bill O'Brien gets a bad rap. I think he's a great coach.
Yeah,
I think he's a good coach. I don't think he sets his defense up for success ever.
I was kidding. He's like horrible.
Oh, okay. Bill O'Brien is a good coach.
He's like the worst.
Bill O'Brien
But
is a good coach. Bill O'Brien-
he's Marvin Lewis level.
Yeah.
They're gonna be in the playoffs.
You can't say that those aren't good coaches though. Even Marvin Lewis.
No, I think he's
Bill
above
O'Brien's
average.
a good coach. He's better than Matt Patricia.
Yeah, I think he's above average, definitely. He's gonna go to the play. He's been in the playoffs how many times? Like 5 times in the last 6 years.
Yeah. A lot of them with Tom Savage, Matt Schaub at quarterback.
It's questionable decisions at incredibly important times.
Correct.
Are we talking about Jason Garrett or Bill O'Brien?
Talking about Andy Reid.
Oh, oof.
Timeout.
This is his year. We are not allowed to badmouth Andy Reid right now.
I'm from Philadelphia. I can talk a little bit about Andy Reid.
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll.
He did make one wrong decision.
No, but he's just throwing shade at people.
Anyone that isn't Bill Belichick deserves shade for making one bad call.
Yeah, and if he makes one, it's like he's on such another level that we can't understand what he was doing. Somebody who is on another level when he's on his game, though, is freaking Aaron Rodgers. How do we feel about that game? I think it's going again be close. I think it's going to be low scoring in this one. And I think that San Francisco is going to get away with it because I think their defense and running game is just so strong. Matt, how do you feel about this one?
I can't really be objective, but I'll give you my honest opinion. I'm no more nervous about this game than I was versus Seattle, but we have a history with Seattle. They tend to be a pain in our ass. One thing I will say is I don't think anyone should read too much into the game Green Bay and San Francisco played earlier this year. It's not going to be that. It's going to be very close. If I had to be completely down the middle, if I had to bet this one, I think San Francisco probably does take it. They're kind of at full strength. Even though Kittle has a little bit of an ankle injury, didn't play, didn't practice. I can't imagine that'll end up being a thing once the game starts. They have just a vicious running attack, which is a Green Bay weakness. Seattle just could not hang with Green Bay because they were missing their primary rushing attack, and they kept trying to go to it in the entire first half, and it just killed them. They buried themselves. But San Francisco is going to be able to take advantage of that. But Green Bay, the defense especially, is pretty hungry to get after it. They've been a little aggressive. Jimmy Garoppolo could lose this for San Francisco. So I think it could actually come down to who makes the bigger plays on defense, and most people would bet on that probably being big Nick Bosa. They got to Aaron Rodgers a lot last time. But yeah, I think it ends up being close. San Francisco wins, but I think it'll come down to it. And yeah, it wouldn't shock me if the Packers end up pulling this one out because Aaron, he comes up in big games, and the Green Bay defense, I think, can try to take Jimmy Garoppolo out of his element because if George Kittle can be contained, if that's possible, I like their chances. But yeah, I would go for the under in this one and San Francisco.
Nick?
So San Francisco is the team I've had winning it all since the playoffs started. So I obviously I'm choosing them to win the game, and I'll stand by it. I'll stand by with what I originally said. But to be honest, this has a gut feeling of a Packer victory. This seems like something that Aaron Rodgers is going to go to an inexperienced team who's at home, who's flying high, who's got a 7.5-point favorite from Vegas, and Green Bay's just going to go upset them. And
that is a silly line, by the way.
It's
it's.
I'm gladly taking the Packers line. But then, if the Packers go to San Francisco and go and upset them, it'll be shocking because to me, going into the NFC, the Packers were one of the worst teams. And I think that they were sneaking away victories. I think that their defense was very inexperienced to start, and I didn't think they were going to really kind of get that form and become better. They looked
Did
good
San Francisco not sneak away as many victories, though, in all reality?
Yeah.
As someone who just said,
and
I think San Francisco
did.
did.
The Seahawks, if anybody, snuck away victories to end up here as well.
Yeah, Seattle
Wilson was just pulling bunnies out of his hat the entire season.
Green Bay too, but San Francisco snuck games away against New Orleans and Baltimore. Green Bay
Washington,
snuck games
I believe they won 8-7 versus the Redskins.
Yeah, but that was that water game.
That was like the monsoon game of them all. But the Packers just never looked like a team. They were losing for 120 minutes against the Lions in regular season and won both of those games.
Didn't they lose to Matt
Never
Moore?
led in regular time. Never led in regular time, but won both of the games on last second.
Speaking of monsoon, it's raining salt in here.
Oh, God. The snail. So I don't really believe in the Packers. So that's why I think the 49ers will win this game. And but when everything points to the inexperienced team who's hot winning the game, I don't know. Sometimes I like to just zag when everyone else zigs. It's the same thing with Carolina and Arizona in 2015. And Carolina was 15-1 going in the playoffs and just rolling. And Arizona had Larry Fitzgerald and Carson Palmer and Bruce Arians, and it just looked like the experience was going to win that one. And they didn't. They got their ass whooped. So it easily could be a San Francisco domination. But just be careful. Bet the Green Bay plus 7.5. But if I'm choosing, I'm taking the San Francisco 49ers 31-27.
Where I'd be optimistic here, just real quick, is that if I was going to paint a picture for Green Bay to win, is what would you want to bet on more? Green Bay, the Aaron Rodgers coming up with a big game against that San Francisco pass rush and Richard Sherman having to cover Devontae Adams, or the Green Bay defense taking advantage of Jimmy Garoppolo's inexperience in huge games and trying to contain the rushing game. I think that as far as big plays go, Green Bay has a better chance to have some difference-making plays, whereas San Francisco overall is just kind of a death by a million paper cuts kind of thing. So that is where I give Green Bay the edge. Is I think that Aaron could take more advantage. I think Aaron Rodgers can take advantage of the San Francisco defense, and I think the Green Bay defense can take advantage of Jimmy Garoppolo.
I think we're looking too much into the players right now. I think what we need to do is look at the coaches. And the reason that the San Francisco 49ers have the edge is because Kyle Shanahan is the greatest offensive mind that the NFL has seen. He has the best play calling. He has the perfect team that's built for this playoff, and he is going to run that team and come out with plays that Green Bay has never seen. It doesn't that anyone has ever seen. He's going to pull plays out of his ass, and it's going to look fun. It's going to be embarrassing for Green Bay. That's why San Francisco is going to win it, because of coaching rules.
I don't think he's going to be embarrassed. I'm really low scoring on this one. I think it's going to be 17-14 or something to San Francisco, and not more than that.
Give me the over.
And it's going to have to be, if Green Bay is having a shot on this one, it have to be Aaron Rodgers playing peak Rodgers. And I don't think San Francisco, like you said, death by a million paper cuts. When George Kittle is on his game, and I want to move over to the fantasy aspect of this as we move forward, I put him against Devontae Adams when I was doing the players we're going to look into, because I feel like those are the same level of big play stardom in the receiving game. And I think both of them have that. And then Aaron Jones versus the running game in San Francisco, it's definitely above for San Francisco. And quarterback has to go to Aaron Rodgers. But I'm with Nick with the coaching. That's going to be the difference. But I don't think it's going to be... I don't think both teams score about 20 points.
46-0, San Fran.
Didn't you? Well, it's funny because I come out as the Packers fan and say I think San Francisco. We go right to Nick and he's like, this feels like a Green Bay victory. And now he's sitting 80-0 San Francisco. I think it'll be a close game. If I had to guess anything, it would be that this game is going to go in no way the way people are thinking it's going to go. You're going to be sitting there at halftime being like, what the hell is happening? That's what I'm guessing.
Nick is the drunk uncle of the show.
Yes.
The drunkle.
The drunkle. Well, we're gonna move over to the next topic, which is going to be, before that, I'm picking San Francisco and KC. Matt, what do you got?
If we're going no line, I'm going San Francisco and KC. If we're going line, I'm going KC and Green Bay.
Nick.
Give me San Francisco to win the game. Give me Kansas City to win the game.
Awesome. And now let's move over to the price pick portion of this episode.
Price picks.
Yeah, baby. Like you heard Nick say say Prize Picks. If you're tired of losing on DFS salary cap sites with our friends at Prize Picks, you can turn that fantasy sports knowledge or our fantasy sports knowledge into cold hard cash. No sharks, no endless hours of research. It's just you against the projection. Just choose over or under correctly on a player's fantasy point prediction to win, and you can use promo code CSD to sign up. And if you do so, you get free 2-pick entries to win $25 and 25% first deposit instant match. Prize Picks really is daily fantasy simplified, and that's exactly what we're going to do now. We're going to pick players, and we're going to go over under their projection on Prize Picks, and then we're going to look and see how we did last week. We already done 2 weeks ago actually, but we'll look at how we did today in next week's episode. The first player I want to talk about is Ryan Tannehill. We've talked a lot about Tannehill today, and he has a Prize Picks projection of 17 points. Nick, over or under, and give us a little why.
17 points.
17 points.
Standard, like we're PPR, right? Obviously, we're doing
PPR.
quarterback right now, but it's PPR and then 4-point passing touchdown,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Give me over 17, and I don't want this to happen, but betting wise and putting money down wise, it truly could become a Chiefs spectacle at home. Thus, the Titans are playing from behind a lot, getting a lot of prevent coverage from the Chiefs. You might be sitting at 6 points going into the fourth quarter with Tannehill, but he'll end with at least 18. So give me an over on Tanny, 17.
Matt, what do you got? 17 points.
17. I'll go under.
Under? Okay.
Yeah, I'll go under.
It's just
I'm gonna, I'm sticking with the Vrabel thing. I think they're gonna be going to try to run the ball the entire time. I don't think he quite gets there. Obviously, he's had a tough go this entire time, and the Chiefs' secondary is not exactly awful. At least in terms of what Tennessee is likely going to be doing against them. AJ Brown, I would expect, shows up though for the first time, and he probably comes. I get a gut feeling he's going to come through in a big way. So maybe I'm talking myself out of it as I speak, and I am. Tannehill over.
Welcome to the club, because I'm going over as well.
That reminds me of the I don't know if it's South Park or Family Guy, but one of them, he's like, all right, you put your money in the bank, all right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and poof, it's gone. He's like, oh.
That's my thought process in motion, everyone. I was just buying time.
For the coin master strikes again.
Oh, flip the coin.
Tannehill. All right, Tannehill, we'll go the over his heads for Tannehill.
We're going to do some shout-outs before we get to the next play. We got Dan DiMarino joining the show. And
Dan Marino.
Dan DiMarino.
Oh. I don't know where this coin went.
Oh, there it is. BT Doggy's friend
the
joining the show as well, and Miami Kings Production. Welcome to the show, y'all. I know you've been saying stuff in the chat, and I've been answering.
Heads.
It's heads.
Well, tell us what's going on in the chat, Carl.
We've been talking about the Pats Seahawks game a little bit from that old Super Bowl. But I'm going over for Tannehill as well. I got him for 16.5 with only 40% risk. KC gave up 15.6 on average to quarterbacks. So that's a very good line they set up. But I'm going to go over with that risk being that low for a quarterback. If they're above 59%, that's when I start to get a little antsy.
And the coin took the over as well?
Yep.
I got to add a row here. A column, and let's do coin. Over for coin.
Coin master and the coin. We'll see who the real master is after this week.
We got Patrick Mahomes next up with 22.9. That's not right. That's what I have. 25.8. I'm sorry. 25.8 for Mahomes. I'm going 22.9, and I have a risk factor of 61%. So I'm not too confident he's going to be above 25.8. So I'm going to go under when the risk factor is that high with a projection that's below the Prize Picks one. So, Matt, over under on Mahomes for 25.8. It's a pretty big projection.
Yeah, for someone who doesn't use his legs a ton by design, I'll go under. That does seem a little much for a game that I am thinking will be a little slowed down because of just the way the game script will go. So even though I anticipate him to have a good game, I don't see it. He's not going to whip out, I don't think, the 5 and 6 touchdowns like he just did.
I
think
agree.
a good game, but not 25.8.
Yeah, that's a really, really good game.
Yeah.
Exactly. You literally took the words out of my mouth. Like, I think he's going to have a good game, 3 possible touchdowns, some good yardage, but all in all, under 25.
Under 25 for all of us on Mahomes. Then
What about the coin? Come
Coin Master.
on, boys,
Coin Master,
don't leave
come
the
on.
Coin out. I'm more interested in how the coin does this week than any of us.
Under.
So
He's-
it's doing.
what a
He's
copycat.
copying us. Another
Get your
person
mind, coin.
The coin has a mind of its own.
in that game though we've talked a
Maybe
lot
we'll
about.
flip the coin first this time.
All right, yeah, let's let the coin set the mood.
The coin decides. I am the decider. Was that Bush? Derrick Henry, 18.2. That's also a high one. I feel more confident about that one than Mahomes. KC usually gives up 22 points on average to running backs, and I have him for 16.6 in standard scoring and 17.9 in PPR. So that's right on that 18.2. So I'm going to go over 18.2 on Derrick Henry. Even though it's a very high prediction, I'm going over.
Coin took the over.
Coin took the over. I did not copy the coin. Just
Nick
FYI.
takes the over.
I feel like taking the over is just boring, but I'm taking the over. 'Cause I've already been saying it the whole game. I think Derrick Henry time, yes.
Derrick Henry,
The
like
Derrick Henry party continues.
unless Andy Reid can get all of his bench players out there to tackle Derrick Henry, the motherfucker can't be stopped. It's unbelievable. So definitely have to go with him.
And Derrick Henry is his name, and running
What's
over.
the postseason
his
record for carries in a game?
Well, I don't know that. I don't
46 by Derrick Henry in 2020 AFC Championship.
know. Against the Kansas City Chiefs.
NFL record carries in a playoff game. Google.
Bam. While you Google, Nick, Damian Williams, 15.5. That's a high one, too.
Yeah, that is a high one, but I'm going to take the over. I think Damian Williams has a damn good day this week. Give me Damian over that by a cat whisker, but
I'm gonna be a little salty. I had Damian Williams in my DFS lineup, and I put too many Kansas City Chiefs in the lineup, and I'm like, I really want the pass catchers because I think he's gonna throw a lot of touchdowns. So I moved Damian Williams out of my lineup, and
put in Travis Kelce.
I had Kelsey, I had Mahomes, I had, Hill and Watkins. I was just going stack. And then Damian Williams had, 3 touchdowns?
Something like that. But regardless, this is when Damian Williams shows up as a Chief. Once it gets crunch time, here comes Damian Williams. So definitely taking the over.
I'm taking the under on this one as I have a prediction of 10 points for him with 62% risk, only a ceiling of 14 in this game. I don't see him scoring above 15. Well, that is standard. Why am I looking standard and not PPR? I only have him for 12 point something in PPR, so that's fine, and I'm going under. Matt,
Carl,
are you with us?
We got to get you out of the habit of looking at standard projections.
Yeah, I'm fixing that for next year.
Okay,
Don't worry about it.
All right. Says don't worry about it. All right. I know what I'm doing.
It's on this little fancy to-do list.
Cool. On the to-do list, baby. My honey-do list. Heard.
Matt, do you have a prediction for Damian Williams over under 15.5?
I will take the under for that. That seems a bit high for a team that is not really going to try to stick to the run the entire time against the Titans. I don't think they're going to do that. Yeah, I think that's actually under, and I feel pretty confident about that. Yeah, I think same. I like that more. I think I like that more than any other pick so far.
I like the over.
Yeah, that's my favorite one to go over. Under.
Mm.
What does the coin say, Coin Master?
The coin.
Flip it.
Under.
I'm going with the coin on all of my picks so far, and so is Matt. We got AJ Brown. We've also touched on him a little bit, and that aerial attack of Tennessee that has been a little lackluster over the last 2 weeks. I have him for 11.6 in PPR, which is roughly 0.9 points under the 12.5 Prize Picks have. With the risk of only 43% and a ceiling of 18, I'm actually going to go 12.5. I'm going under for AJ Brown at 12.5.
Give me the over.
Over? Mm-hmm.
You guys are thinking two less of points here, man. This game's going to be high scoring.
Yeah,
I already said earlier. I had a feeling AJ Brown was going to show up. One giant play gets him close, so I would take the over for AJ.
And as y'all have spoken, I'm gonna switch my pick to over as well.
Oh, and the coin over.
Over. No.
I wish I would have gotten that out earlier, so it looked like you were chasing the coin again.
I changed it back. I'm going under. I'm going under AJ Brown.
Are you being influenced by a copper cylinder?
Yeah, nah. I'm gonna stick to my guns, and I'm gonna go against the grain, and do what I've called in the past a hero pick. Everybody going over. I'm going under.
That's
me and Nick, we are the grain.
We are the grain. The vodka grain, you know what I mean?
What'd you call him earlier? The Uncle Drunkle?
The Drunkle. The Drunkle strikes again.
The Drunkle.
The Grain Drunkle.
Gas station.
I'm going over and under.
If we ever have a tag team, though, we got our name. The Grain.
The
Grain, baby.
Yeah, y'all are Middle America right there.
Midwestern, represent.
Somebody who plays in Middle America is Tyreek Hill, though.
Midwestern, though. Matt's East Coast.
Yeah, but if you're the grain is farmed in,
Midwest. I liked it. I'm Midwest, yeah. I like it.
Grow corn here. Jersey corn, tons of it. That's a grain.
How is Detroit Midwest, though? How is Detroit Midwest? Can we dig down that a little bit more?
We're in the middle of the non-East Coast. Well, I don't know.
You're pretty much Canada, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Let's be here. It's not much. Canada's a stone's throw away, right out my window. So yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Can you smell the oppression of the crown?
I absolutely can. Oh, it lingers every day. Wakes me up in the morning.
And then you just have to breathe in that air of freedom.
Freedom? Never mind. I was about to get real political, but never mind. Let's move on.
Tyreek Hill is somebody who's moved on this year. Oh, that's dark. 16 points this week.
That's dark. I did not realize what you were saying. Yeah, that's good, man. That's good.
16 points for Tyreek Hill in this game. Matt, what do you have for Tyreek Hill?
What was his over-under?
16 points in PPR against Tennessee.
Under.
Under.
Hold on. Before you pick, I got to coin it up there.
Coin goes
under.
So it's under. Jenk is under. I got him with under 50% risk and a ceiling of 19 points. Tennessee usually gives up 21.6 points on average to wide receivers, and I have him for 5 receptions for 15.7. I'm going over.
See, with all your stats there, it makes me want to pick the over. But for some reason, I got this. I feel like they're going to spread the ball around a lot. But I also went under on Damian Williams, and someone needs to score these points.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I am actually switching to the over because I don't think Sammy Watkins is going to somehow get 25.
We're gonna take mulligans out of this, boys. You say what you say. You can't just be flip-flopping.
Oh, you can.
Fine, I will keep my under, and I'll put an asterisk
You're
next
no
to
longer Team Grain. You're Team East Coast. Welcome.
I thought you were about to say like Team Train or something. Should have rhymed it.
Team Train?
Now I'm Team Pain.
Yeah, there we go. All right, that's
T-Pain.
T-Pain.
That's the
Basically,
short for
you guys are T-Pain, and we're T-Grain.
We got Jimmy Garoppolo, who is a team by himself.
Under.
Under.
Over.
And over.
We don't even know what the number is.
Blind
17
over.
points.
I don't care what it is.
17 points for Jimmy G.
Oh, the coin didn't want to know. The coin's over.
Yeah, that's right. Me and the coin together.
Ooh, the
Jimmy
coin
G is
goes
about to
over.
go.
You say 17?
17 points. That's a low projection.
Under.
Yeah,
Under.
I'm going. I don't think he's gonna score that.
No, me either.
That's not happening. Under. Are you still
All joking
over,
aside,
Nick?
I would have taken the under regardless, though.
I will gladly still stick with the over. Blind over and just regardless over.
But
You guys think this game's gonna be like 10-5 for some reason? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Green Bay.
I think it's going to be like 27-24, and that'll still result in an under 17 for Jimmy.
he's not throwing a touchdown into this game.
I don't think so.
two
either.
of them in this game.
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
He's throwing
no,
two.
no,
You
no.
mean 2 pick sixes? I could see that.
Yeah.
Well, that he could happen too. I'm not gonna say that's not gonna happen. But he
Green
will.
Bay are actually really good against quarterbacks too.
You don't
Like
think
you gotta
George
add
Kittle's
that to
gonna
the
walk
equation.
into an NFC Championship game and not catch a man? George Kittle can get a screen for 1 yard at the 2, and that motherfucker running 98 yards to score a touchdown.
They're not
I
throwing a
guarantee
screen
George
at
Kittle
the 2.
touchdown.
It's pretty hard for for Kittle to throw the ball to himself and score, though.
But it's George Kittle. I mean, if anyone can play,
he
I'm
can
not.
do it.
Betting against
Marcus
George.
Mariota threw the ball to himself and scored a touchdown. If he can fucking do it, George Kittle can do it.
This is a Jimmy gets under 17 and George Kittle gets over 17 situation.
Oh yes.
that. Let's see. Let's circle. Let's just write that down. Let's circle back to that.
I also don't believe that though because I think George Kittle is probably gonna be limited in this one. Not limited like
Hey,
he's gonna
no,
play
hey, not
limited,
NFC
but I think
Championship game. What are you limiting him for?
no. I
For
mean
for tomorrow, for next
Green
week?
Bay will limit him.
Yeah,
Not
I
that-
can't. I wouldn't actually go over 17 because I can't have under 17 for Jimmy and give George over 17.
Yeah, like he started taking
this game's gonna be
handoffs.
A lot more scoring than you guys think. It's the same thing with the Green Bay Seattle game last week. Everyone, it was freezing cold. It's the Lambeau Field. Blah 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 blah. The game hit the over because this game's gonna hit the over. Like Green Bay's defense is not that good. San Francisco's offense is better than what we want to give them credit for all the way leading up to the NFC Championship game. Still, no one wants to give them credit that they can't score more than 17 points.
Well, they can, but Jimmy can't.
Yeah, I mean they score despite Jimmy. I think.
No. That's
Guys
not what
making
I'm
too
saying
much
though.
out of it.
They score.
Jimmy Garoppolo's lost what 3 games in his NFL career. The motherfucker is amazing. He's gonna score 2 touchdowns at the very least, both of them to Kittle. Maybe throwing a third one to a catching Tevin Coleman. Breida adds in another one. There's a field goal, 31-27, just like I said.
That's a lot of touchdowns.
I mean, here's the main
We're
thing.
in San
is
Francisco. It's gonna be
San
great
Francisco,
weather. It's warm
San
weather.
Francisco, they're not stupid, and Green Bay has a very easy flaw, and that's the running defense.
Exactly. They're going to run the
That's
ball
what they're
into
gonna
the
do.
10-yard line, drive after drive after drive. What's going to happen in the 10? They're going to give a quick play action and hit George Kittle on a slant easily twice.
I have that resulting in a field goal actually.
Yeah, that's why I wanted low-scoring field goals and rushing touchdowns
Yeah.
over and over and over again.
Over on the total points, over on the touchdowns, over on Jimmy Garoppolo is what you meant to say.
Aaron Rodgers, 18.2. Over under. Nick.
Under.
Under. So you're going under on Rodgers, but you're going over on Jimmy G. Okay. Gunkle.
That is-
Drunkle. What's going on?
Because Aaron Rodgers, like what Aaron Rodgers is gonna do is the complete opposite. They're gonna get into the red zone and they're gonna have Aaron Jones end up putting that in. They're gonna come up with different creative ways. Like it's gonna be close. Like I'm not like this is a good line to be all honest. I don't think that Aaron Rodgers goes out and throws 3 touchdowns this game. I truly don't. 2 touchdowns and under 300 yards gets him under 17. Which are 18 points? Is it?
Yeah, 18.2.
18 points.
My
He's gonna get
problem
like
with-
17 and a half.
My reluctance to go over, which I may anyway, is that Devontae Adams had 8 catches for 160 yards, which is a Packers postseason record. Jimmy Graham had 3 catches, one of them being like amazing.
One was
Yeah.
fantastic.
He like got his Packers moment, so good for him. No one else had over a catch.
Yeah, they're terrible.
So, I mean, I believe in Devontae to be able to take on Richard Sherman. I'm not sure about the rest of the crew. So even though I think Aaron has a good game, I know Aaron Jones is going to be having a rough time versus the San Francisco defense. They're still going to get him involved no matter what, even through like the passing game, but still that could count towards Aaron.
And
I will take the over
Oof.
reluctantly. If they're going to win this, I feel game script is going to force him to throw, and he will get there. So I think that 18 is actually a good line for him, and it'll be close. But I will take the over because I think he goes to the end zone and not Aaron Jones in this one.
And here's the thing: I feel like this over/under will be determined on if San Francisco jumps out to that like early. If Green Bay has to come back, I mean, there's no doubt about it that Aaron Rodgers is going to get over 18 points. But it's however you think the game's going to go. Everyone listening, us
But you
three.
said under.
Right, and I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think San
okay.
Francisco jumps out to a big lead. I think this is a back and forth game the entire game, and I think that's going to kind of take away from what Aaron Rodgers has to do with his arm. However, if San Francisco is the better team and is the number one seed in the NFC and is like this team that can't be stopped right now, they're going to jump out to a big lead. Then yeah, I mean, it like at that point, everything I say is null and void because Aaron Rodgers is absolutely going to hit over 18. But I think this game's going to be more hit for hit, and I don't think he'll supersede that. But I do think this is a fantastic line, like Matt said. This is right on the nose.
Yeah, I've been changing my pick like 7 times as y'all been speaking, and I landed on under. I have him for 17 points, almost on the dot. 50-50 risk, which is always uncomfortable. And San Francisco usually give up like 14.9 points on average to quarterbacks. That's insanely good. Like most teams, like if you look what like Tennessee and KC are doing, they're even like a point below that, and that adds up pretty quickly over the course of a season. So I'm gonna go under. Do we have a coin on this? Coin Master Matt.
Of course we do. Oh, what we got? Coin. Over.
Over for the coin. We got 3 more picks. We're gonna rush off the 3 last picks here before we sign off. It's been a great show so far. I'm really enjoying this one. We got Aaron Jones, Nick, 15.5. Over, under.
Over.
Over. Same for me. I got him for 18. Matt.
Who are we doing? Sorry, I was answering somebody.
Aaron Jones over under 15.5.
Oh God. Sorry, I'm just doing some basic math in my head here.
God can't help you right now.
But the coin can.
Yeah.
It really quick.
You know what? It's fun. It's funny. I said I think Aaron going over on both Aaron seems like a mistake, but Aaron Jones is literally addicted to the end zone. Him in the end zone are one, so I will take the over.
Over. Coin does something as we ask Kittle 15.5. Nick, I'm going under on Kittle. I don't think he reached 15.5.
Under on Aaron Jones from the coin.
Under. Fantastic.
Over George Kittle 15. I guaranteed he'd get 2 touchdowns this week.
15.5 over. I'm going under. I think he stops at
12. I'll give him 12. Under.
Yeah.
What? You know what's the best thing about Prize Picks? Prize Picks, you don't know if you're gonna hit that over until like the last play because that's always you're not gonna have
under. Coin has the under for Kittle as well.
Did you have under, Matt?
Yes, under.
Yeah, I have him
going for about 12, 13 points.
I had him for like 14.9 with 6 receptions. The reception is gonna save him for me.
It's a good line. I like it.
Yeah, the line is perfect. They've done a really good job of being annoying this week.
Fucking Prize Picks.
Yeah,
I mean, grain of salt with my picks, everybody. I mean, they're kindly skewed toward what I'd like to see. As I swear, I'm trying to be down the middle. As you saw, I picked San Francisco, but I took the over for Aaron Rodgers. I took the over for Aaron Jones. I took the under for Jimmy Garoppolo. And I took the under for George Kittle.
If the Lions ever made it to where you guys are, I wouldn't be able to do the show like this. Like I would just be. So kudos to you, Matt. Like you're doing a great job, in my opinion.
It's because he roots for a team that's been here so many times.
Hey, go fuck yourself, Matt.
No, I don't. You know what's funny? People are like because of the referees, or whatever crazy crap. Like, hey,
12th man.
News flash: the referees screw everybody.
Yeah,
they just happen to do it to the Saints and Lions a little more.
Yeah, thank you. That's all right. That's all I wanted to hear. But all right.
But like that Hollister fumble, come on.
All right. So the referees screw everyone, but the Lions and the Saints a little bit more. But they also help the Patriots and the Packers just a little bit more.
A little bit.
They do not.
They do too. They
do not. I don't think they favor anybody, to be honest.
They favor Tom Brady.
I think they literally screw everyone.
They favor Brady and Rodgers. They do.
Here's a good thing. does any fan of their team, does anyone actually feel that the referees help their team? Do you think there's a single fan in the NFL who thinks the referees help their team?
That's just
the Patriots should.
That's fan goggles, though, of all.
Well, no, it
seeing...
could be. But do you think is there anyone out there can actually be like, you know what, the Patriots fan, like, yeah, we get a few calls. Is there anyone who actually admit that?
I mean,
but
they will
for
never
the
admit
31 teams that aren't in that town, of all those other fans that aren't in a city, do you think they all say one or two certain teams do get a little extra calls? And I guarantee 70% would say Packers, Patriots.
Nobody would say that about like, oh, the Titans are getting the calls.
Yeah. You know why? Because no one cares.
All these calls. Oh my God.
The Packers ones, everyone kind of like are pulling it into the media. When the truth is, there's been like 3 NFL rule changes because of how badly the Packers have gotten screwed over the last 20 years.
Don't
pylon bullshit. I mean,
don't bring up rule changes and the Packers caught it.
The Lions have had 8.
Well, there's that too. I thought Mike McCarthy's answer was actually pretty funny to that.
What did he say?
No, he was. They were asking him because he's obviously just got hired there. Did Dez catch it? And he was very diplomatic. Well, I think it was a very athletic grab, and due to the rules at the time, they made the right call. But it was longer than that. But I think he did a good job of not pissing anybody off with that one. So
how about when the Lions got called for a fake face penalty against Aaron Rodgers when he could then do a Hail Mary to beat us? Or what about the time that Trey Flowers got 2 fake hands to the face calls when the Packers could go on and beat it? The Lions get screwed only against the Packers.
What about when Ndamukong Suh stomped on Aaron Rodgers and nobody looked at it?
No one looked at it. The motherfucker got fined and suspended for a game.
Yeah, but during
remember that time that Jamal Williams literally got murdered on the field by the Eagles, and no one said anything, and then the Eagles got all mad because their quarterback got hurt? Come on, Eagles fans.
Oh, they're the worst.
Come on, Eagles fans.
Okay.
Eagles fans.
We're pissing everybody off, and Davante Adams is our last player.
Referees screw everybody. It's my point. Everybody.
Except the Patriots. Davante Adams, 18 points. I got him for over because I think he's going to catch a butt ton of balls this game. Not that he's going to have like extreme yardage and a touchdown, but he's going to have a touchdown or extreme yardage and a bunch of catches because, like Matt was alluding to earlier, nobody else can catch the ball on the team. So I'm going over for Davante Adams, even though I think the game is going to be low scoring.
The volume will definitely be there. He had like near 50% of the targets. So yeah, I'll take the over just because the math is there.
You got to take the over. I'm going to take the under, though. I'm going to take the under just for fuck's sake. So I'll give me the under.
And the coin will sign us off.
All right, one final one from the coin.
Oh,
nice high one.
Nice high one.
Over for Mr. Davante Adams.
Bam.
Abraham Lincoln, he never told a lie.
Oh, man.
Remember that.
That's true.
The coin master has spoken. We will be back next week analyzing the games and seeing how we did with the over-under. We will go over the games and talk about how terrible Nick's projections have been compared to mine.
Watch me go undefeated.
Yeah, I would love that, though.
Head
over to CSTFantasy.com tomorrow for the score projections, and a new video comes out with more prize picks coming out on Saturday. You can also head over to the YouTube channel where you might be right now and check out top 15 touchdown leaders for the Super Bowl era in receiving. Guys, thank you so much for today. This has been a fantastic show. Truly appreciate y'all. And signing off for the Fantasy Rabbit Hole is Nick Faber, Matt Williams, and CST Fantasy. That was my accent coming in.
Matt Williams.
That was my accent coming in right there. And I will see y'all next time. Have a good one.
Bye. Bye, everybody.